Papa Agus is an uncle of mine, and he died this week. And yesterday was a ceremony. And in the ceremony, it's usual that you'd speak of people's legacies. And about his legacy, he's a really family man. He helped me out at many moments, and he has also got so much willpower. He's a real fighter till the bitter end. And yesterday evening, I had to tell my aunt and my nephew and my niece that I can't be there, because today I need to be here. Because today I have to show you something about my legacy. And she looked at me, they looked at me and they said, go ahead, shine, do your best. So, this talk is also for my uncle, who is buried at this same time right now. Yes. So I'm a world improver. I'm a do-gooder. And it was my idea that I should do that, and I continue that by being in politics. And what I learned in politics is that I need to do a lot of lobbying. And that's one of the things I'm really bad at. So I changed that. And then I thought, you know what I should do? I should become a CEO of a big multinational. And when I am that big shot, I can turn a company. I can turn the world around. So I quit my job and I came to this university. I studied here for 16 months doing the MSc program, and like a lot of you know, there's a lot of learning here. You have to work hard. When I finished my study here after 16 months, I was having this idea that all these doors were open for me and I could work everywhere. But in fact, nobody wanted me. I had to do the dishes for a year. And after a year, I finally got this job of business-to-business marketeer, which was mainly cold calling. I had to call 20 people a day, 7,000 people in 16 months. But I passed through that, and finally, after 7 years, I finally became a marketing manager at this really cool IT company, what was the fast-moving company within the region in the Netherlands. So I got the opportunity to go to New York and become a marketing manager there as well. So I was really ahead of, going to this pyramid to the top. But I couldn't, because I noticed that I don't have the heart to ever have that position. So I got depressed. I just went home, I looked at my wife and I told her, honey, we talked about this world trip. She looked at me and said, yes, I think we need to go. I think we need to go in 3 months. And she said, yeah, it's a good idea. So we quit our jobs, and 3 months later, we're on travel, on the move. And 3 months later than that, I ended up in Vietnam. And I was walking down the street with a bottle of water. Someone walked up to me and said to me, would you like to go to Chitonos for free? Now, I'm Dutch, so I understand free in any language. So I said to him, sure, what do I need to do for that? Well, what you need to do is you need to teach children English. I've never been a teacher, so what am I supposed to do? And he said, well, just talk and they will explain you over there. I was like, okay, well, let's do that. So that evening I was picked up by these motorbike taxi drivers, and they drove me through Saigon. It was a real good ride. And finally ended up at that school. It was just a small building. And the director waited me, put me in a room, and I waited there. And finally this kind lady entered and said to me, you come here. And I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going. So I followed her up the stairs, finally into this classroom. She opened the door for me, and I stepped in. And I was thinking, luckily this teacher is here with me, because he will tell me what to do here. So I walked through the door, I stepped in, I looked back, and I saw the door slamming closed. And then I looked into the room, 30 pairs of eyes were staring at me, and we had the exact same idea. What is this guy doing here? Yeah, So we had to click straight away, and after 7 seconds, I started talking. Well, in sales, 7 seconds, someone starts talking, I started talking. After an hour, I was picked up again, put in the same room, and there was my wife with a camera. She turned it on, looked at me, and she said, "How was it?" And I said, I just gloomed, I shined, I was so happy. I said, "This was awesome. I think I have to become a teacher." And she looked at me with those really beautiful eyes. She said, "I told you so." And I was like, "You're serious?" So she said, "I told you so." We traveled more for 6 months, and I came back. I left the idea of becoming a teacher on the left side because I'm a commercial guy. I want to reach the top, and so I came back in the Netherlands. I thought I was a completely different person. One of the ideas, what I promised myself, I was meant to have an RDTT. When I started here, an RDTT, but I didn't want it anymore. Why do I need a car? I have this Polo. It's really good. So after 6 weeks driving on the highway, I saw this RDTT passing by, and I looked at it. Wow, I want that car. And I knew I was just the same. I didn't change. 6 months later, I became a father. My firstborn was born, and I held him up in my arms, and I looked at him, and he opened his eyes, and I felt the fatherhood, responsibility, and I knew I have to give him an example. And what was going through my mind was, am I giving you the example of reaching the top, because there you can change everything? Or am I giving him the example, follow your heart, and it will turn out okay? And I thought that's the example what my son should have from me. So I quit my job again, was again in marketing, quit my job again, and I applied for becoming a teacher. And luckily, there was this university which said, "Yes, you can come in, you can teach here." And the first day, the first class, it was awesome. I liked it so much. And there came a second one, a third one, a fourth one. A whole week I was just shining and having so much fun. This is something I was really meant to be, and I could finally work with it. But still, like I was telling you, I'm a world improver. I didn't understand how can I improve the world by being a teacher. And after 3 weeks I knew. There was this slide, and on the slide said, "Would you sell cigarettes to 4-year-olds?" And I asked it in my classroom, and my students looked at me, "That's impossible. You can't sell cigarettes to 4-year-olds. I said, "Yeah, I'm sure, you're right. But in India, it's everyday practice. They sell cigarettes to 4-year-olds. Grab them when they're young, long-time value." So they looked at me, and I said, "Okay, let's play this game, I'm hiring you. There's this vacancy, and we're hiring you. There's 17,000 euros a year, but the only problem is, you have to sell cigarettes to 4-year-olds. You have to market it there. Would you take that job?" There were 30 students in that room, and I asked that question. And I said, "If you want that job, stand up." About these 30, just 3 stood up. And I was quite happy. But then I looked again. There was so much tumult, so much rumor in that class. I said, "You know what? Let's raise the salary. How about 100,000, 150? 200, 250, 300, 400, 500,000. How many students stood with 500,000 a year? It was 27. And in that moment I understood. I don't teach students. I teach future leaders. And what I want for them is that they understand that you don't sell your soul for any amount of money. Because if you gain that, then we can get those responsible leaders we desperately need. But that is exactly the same thing that became a mission. What I want, that my future leaders become responsible leaders. And what I think they need is to understand who they are. They need to understand what is your legacy. What do we want to put out in this world? And if you understand that, then we combine with that, what's your purpose? And if you understand your purpose and your legacy, there's just one question: what do you need to fulfill your legacy? And then they come up to me and say, you know what? We want all kinds of different things. We want an NLP course. We want something about hypnosis. We want something with marketing. We want, you know, what we want? We want to know how Facebook works. So that's are the things what we're going to do. So we go to Facebook. We go to Google. We go to whatever company. We go to experts who exactly explain to us what it is. So now not only they gain the knowledge, but they also gain a network. The experts who really can teach them what they want to learn, so they can become who they want to be. Besides challenges, we also have real-life cases. So how it works is, they jump in my car, and I drive them to a company, and I tell them, okay, go inside and ask for Ahmed. So they go inside, they know nothing. They go to Ahmed, and Ahmed seems to be the CEO of this really cool company who has all these big clients from the, you know, best brands of this world. And Ahmed is explaining what his problem is. My problem is that I want to go overseas, like this, like this, like this. Please solve it. So they get 6 hours for solving it. So at 4 o'clock, not only Ahmed, but his full MT is there, and they have to present their ideas. But my students become kind of cocky, you know, because they really like challenges. So at that point, they said to me, you know what? We want more than an applause. We want something different. So how about the next thing? So Ahmed was sitting there, and they were telling Ahmed, Ahmed, we have this great idea, and if you like our idea, you have to take us out for dinner. And the second thing we want, if you really like this, you think, well, this is a really cool plan, you have to give her a job, because she needs one. And the third one is, if you really want to execute this, you have to hire us. So after our presentation, he looked at us and said, you know what? We're going out for eating. You deserve your dinner. And are you really looking for a job? Call me Monday. How cool is that? So, and besides all these cool expert things, challenges and cases that we crack, we also have these amazing challenges. And if they overcome all those challenges and they understand who they are, what their talents are, what their legacy is, what their purpose is, I send them out on their last mission. They don't know anything. I ask them to come over to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. They get in my car. I drive them to Schiphol. I give them a package. And I say, good luck. What's in that package is a one-way ticket to Malta. They gave me all their money. And they give me all their phones. So no phones, no money. And I said to them, you have to come back within 10 days, and please visit Citizen Chapel, please visit CERN in Geneva, visit Paris, and then come back. My last question to you is, what is your legacy? Thank you very much.